Ever feel like you're just, stuck, like you're going in
Yeah.
circles with a problem?
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
the same issue again and again,
Yeah.
like always missing that project deadline.
Right.
Or maybe there's this one piece of equipment and it just seems to have a mind of its own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today, we're diving deep into a tool, something that can really help you break free from those cycles, the fishbone diagram.
It really is a deceptively simple tool.
Okay.
Some people, they call it an Ishikawa diagram or a cause and effect diagram.
Hmm.
But whatever you call it, don't let that simplicity fool you. It's seriously powerful for getting to the root cause of these really stubborn problems.
So this fishbone diagram, it's like instead of just brainstorming, just throwing a bunch of ideas on a whiteboard,
Yeah.
this lets us actually map them out, make it visual.
Exactly.
I'm guessing that visual element is pretty key here.
It's huge. Our brains, they're just wired to process visual information way more easily. Think about looking at a map, right? You instantly get those relationships between the different locations.
Hmm.
The fishbone diagram, it's kind of the same idea, but for problems and their potential causes.
Hmm. Okay, I'm starting to see where you're going with this. So how do we actually build this visual problem-solving map?
Well, you start with a really, really clear focus. It's all about the problem you actually want to solve. That's going to be the head of your fishbone.
Okay.
And then from the head, well, we add the bones. So each major bone, and they kind of branch off from the head like you'd expect, they each represent a big category of potential causes.
And is this where those 6 M's come in?
Yeah. You know about the 6 M's.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard, like, whispers. In the problem-solving world, you hear about these 6 M's.
Exactly. They're like guideposts. They really make you consider all the different parts of a problem.
Okay.
So we've got methods, machines, people, materials, measurement, and environment.
So let's say, hypothetically, our problem is we just can't seem to hit a deadline on a project. Right. Projects are always late.
Hmm.
Do we then go through each of those M's one by one and just kind of brainstorm potential causes?
That's it. You got it.
Okay, okay.
So under methods, for example, you might ask, are the methods we're using to manage this project, are they actually efficient? Or are they part of the problem?
Right.
And then under people, you might think, is there like a communication issue within the team? And you just go down the line like that.
Like each M is its own lens, and you're focusing your attention on that one specific piece.
Yeah. And the really cool part is when you start to dig a bit deeper.
Okay.
So each one of those major bones, it can have smaller bones branching off, and those are like your subcauses. You get this intricate map. It's really cool visually. You can see how all these different things, they might actually be contributing to, in this case, those missed deadlines.
It seems like when you get to that level, that's when those aha moments happen.
For sure. Like, let's say you're looking at that people bone we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
You've written down communication breakdown. Seems obvious. But then maybe when you get to the methods bone, you realize there's no standardized way the team shares project updates.
Oh. So there's that connection.
Yeah, yes.
It's not just people not talking. Maybe the way they're supposed to share isn't even clear.
Exactly.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
That's really the cool part here, right? It's not like we're just trying to find one little thing.
Yeah.
It's the connections, the way these things work together.
Absolutely. And our source material, I actually had a really good example of this.
Okay.
A manufacturing team, they were dealing with this recurring iron contamination problem.
Iron contamination. I can see why that'd be a problem.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Especially in manufacturing. So they brought in the fishbone diagram, I'm guessing.
They did. And this is where that whole visual thing really clicks.
Okay.
They put iron contamination right up there at the head of the fishbone.
Right.
And then systematically, they just brainstormed, went through those 6 M's.
So they're looking at the methods. They're looking at the machines, the materials, all of it.
Yep. The whole 9 yards.
What did they find? What was the aha moment in all of that?
Well, as they're going through it, they noticed this word kept coming up. Calibration.
Calibration. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see where that might fit in, but tell me more. How does that play into different parts of the problem?
So at first it was under methods.
Okay.
Like maybe they weren't calibrating the analytical, but then get this, they realized, wait a minute,
Yeah.
calibration is a problem with the machines themselves too.
Oh, interesting. So it's like the equipment in the lab
Exactly.
and that connection, they might not have seen it without the fishbone diagram. It's like It revealed this whole other layer of the problem.
Exactly. That's the power of it. It wasn't just one thing, right? It was the combination. And they only saw it because they had that visual representation.
Like those puzzles, right?
Yeah.
It's a mess when it's all in a pile. But you start laying it out, you see how the pieces fit.
Perfect analogy.
This makes me think about brainstorming. Sometimes you just go in circles.
Oh, tell me about it.
Same ideas, no progress.
Mm.
But the fishbone diagram, that structure, it forces you to think differently.
It's great for when you're working with a group, too. Everyone's on the same page, looking at the same diagram. Helps cut through the noise.
We've been talking a lot about those 6 MIMs,
Right.
methods, machines, all that. But what if your problem's not like a process thing? Like, what if it's more creative?
Okay. Yeah.
Or even personal?
That's a really good point. The 6Ms, they're great, don't get me wrong, especially in fields like we're talking about, but they're not set in stone.
So it's more about the idea behind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Think of them like starting points,
Oh,
prompts to get you thinking. If your problem's a marketing campaign that's tanking,
right.
your bones, maybe their target audience, messaging, stuff like that.
You adapt it. It's like a Swiss Army knife for problems.
There you go. That's it.
And speaking of tools, you mentioned there are other types of fishbone diagrams.
Yeah.
What else is out there?
Well, there's one called the reverse fishbone. You might find this one interesting.
The reverse fishbone. Okay,
Mhm.
now I'm really curious. What's that all about?
So instead of starting with a problem, you start at the end. What's the outcome you want?
So it's not about reacting.
Yeah.
It's about thinking ahead, like what could go wrong? And you build it out from there.
That's the gist, yeah. You're
Yeah.
getting ahead of the game. And I think that highlights something really important about the fishbone diagram, no matter what kind you're using. We're not just looking for a Band-Aid here, Right. It's
It's
about really understanding the patterns, the things that cause the same problems over and over again.
Once you see it, you can really tackle it at the source. It's not just, putting out fires every week.
Exactly. Think about those missed deadlines again.
Mm.
What if the fishbone shows you it's not just one thing, it's that communication's unclear and nobody's really taking ownership.
So you fix the system, not just the one deadline.
Now you're thinking long term.
This is making me think it's not just for work stuff either, is it?
No.
Like even personal goals.
Absolutely. Think about something you're trying to do, but it's a struggle. Maybe eating healthy,
Oh, yeah.
sticking to a workout plan.
The fishbone could help with that?
Try it. Map out all the obstacles. It's not just, oh, I need more willpower.
Right. There's always a reason. Like maybe I'm always starving late at night because of my work schedule.
There you go. Or maybe you'd work out more if you had a buddy to keep you accountable.
It's like the fishbone makes you realize it's not just you, it's all these little things adding up.
And once you see those little things, you can actually do something about them.
This has been, I don't know, eye-opening. We've
Yeah.
gone from fish bones to solving all life's problems.
It's all connected, right?
So if there's one thing you want people to remember from all this, what would it be?
The fishbone diagram, it's more than just a diagram. It's a way of thinking.
Okay.
Be curious. Look for the connections. That's where the real solutions are.
So next time there's a problem, don't just sit there, sketch out a fish.
Exactly.
I love it. Thanks for this, really. This was a good one.
Anytime.
And for everyone listening, until next time, happy problem solving.